Welcome back to DualEntropy. This time we're looking at Mesmer's boss fight. I have to warn you, it was quite easy for me. Now this boss was hyped up to heavens all through the DLC's marketing.
That tarnished, it seemeth. Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light?
This is a cool cutscene.
Yet
He's just sitting at his
my
mother's
purpose
statue.
standeth unchanged. Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all
He seems
meet
pissed that
death.
America chose us to be the Elden Lord while he's just abandoned in the land of shadows.
In the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
I immediately summoned the Onsen. I did this specifically because I knew there was some story reason for him to be here, so it made sense to summon him. And I didn't get to summon during the Bale boss fight, so I was kind of feeling left out. And I think at this point I realized that I could one-shot Mesmer. He's almost halfway done. So that's why I brought in my Mimic Tier. 3-on-1, baby. Oh, I still love that move. And second phase already. I didn't even realize how quickly I got to the second phase. There's just a thing with Souls boss fights.
I will not suffer.
Well, your first attempt is the best attempt,
A lord devoid of light.
and then you suck for about 300 deaths. And then you finally learn the boss and you succeed.
No, mother. Forgive me.
I think this scene really confirms the theory that runes are just eyeballs. Because this man just crushes his eyeball like they're runes. And I think pretty much levels up in the middle of a boss fight. I wonder if the snake is the Finger Maiden.
Soon tarnished. Wilt thou be taken in the jaws?
His eye look sort of like the Dark Ring from Dark Souls. I wonder if that's intentional.
Shorn of light.
Just me panic rolling, looking at the fucking big ass snake. My dodges were on point. Look how crazy this boss fight is, my god. Having two other people distracting him really came in clutch. And then that's it. That's Mesmer. Let's look at that again. I love that move. He gets chunked for a huge amount of damage. And then boom!
Narca, a curse upon thee.
My mimic tail barely got scratched. I barely got scratched.
Accursed Mesmer, my clan's suffering.
This guy yaps for a
Their
while.
pain, all that they felt. Do you understand now? Your ugliness. Ah!
Okay, so this is right before the final boss fight. I think this was the first time I had reached here. And I was just looking at what these blood stains were up to. Okay, that guy fell. He was trying to parkour and he fell. This guy, I think something similar. Oh, yeah, he just missed his jump and fell off. What about this guy? He respawns and and he walks off. Oh no, look at that again. He wakes up and then he jumps off. That guy is on his 100 plus deaths. He is frustrated with Radon. He just jumps off. He's like, fuck this shit. I'm out. It gave me a clue as to what was coming for the next boss fight. To cause that reaction. But before we get to that, this was one of the places in the DLC that really blew my mind. This entire area, just all the fingers, and even when you open the map, it looks like a huge fingerprint. It's just so weird. I'm sure there are so many lore implications of this. It's that of the origin of the fingers, I guess. This was another huge reveal of the DLC, which was Queen Marika's past. I really didn't expect to get such straightforward answers. I mean, it's still cryptic, but it is quite the elaborate answer. So as soon as you come to the shaman village, the music changes. And there's this lone tree. For a second I wondered, what tree could it be? Of course, it's a minor Erdtree. It's the spell minor Erdtree. It's the same spell Melina uses in the boss fight against Morgoth. I was just riding around thinking of all the lore implications that was revealed in that spell. And then there's this. A statue of what I assume is Marika's grandmother. This is a really good item for the final boss fight. It reads, a braid of golden hair cut loose. Queen Marika's offering to the grandmother. Boosts holy damage negation by the utmost. What was her prayer? Her wish, her confession. There was no one left to answer, and Marika never returned home again. Some software are masters at writing such beautiful, elaborate stories with just few sentences in item descriptions. But just the placement of the item description and the environment around it just builds upon this whole story. Not a lot of game developers do that. And even as you look at the grandmother's statue, it's quite similar to the pose that Marika uses everywhere in her statues. On top of the nearby rocks, you can see a great view of the whole area. The place where the Shadow Tree fragment pools, the Shadow Keep, the Hornsens Castle, the church, Bale's Arena. I wonder if Marika's ambition came from just looking at this view. Okay, so coming to the final boss, I'm gonna take a bit of a longer wind up to introduce the boss. So I had tried to fight the boss for a while at this point, and I was looking at where all the Shadow Tree fragments were, and I was missing just one. And I had gone through every known location and checked, but this was the one that I thought I had gotten, but apparently I didn't. So there were two hippos here and I only killed one, so I came back to kill the other one. So this was my final outfit for the Radahn boss fight. The black knight armor and Millennia's helm with the red hair flowing. I thought it was thematically appropriate. So here I'm searching for that final hippo. I'm just hoping that it's here, because if it wasn't here, I would have to go through every location again to see which Shadow Tree fragment I missed. And man, the relief I got when I saw this. I could kill it, but I just wanted to be done with this. I'd spent like an hour looking for all the Shadow Tree fragments. I'd gotten most of it, but since I didn't mark which ones I had gotten, I had to go through all of the locations again, trying to figure out which one I had missed. This is an easy fight, nothing to it. Just rode around on torrent. And there was the final fragment. So now that I had it, I fast travel out of there and I level up the final Shadow Tree blessing. I also realized I had a lot of runes left and I didn't want to lose them. So I went back to the round table hold and I bought a whole bunch of crabs. I had 152 attempts to get this boss fight. So my buffs were Physic Flask, which had the Opalin Burst tier and I think another defensive tier, and of course the crab. I think I had some Exalted Flesh in the quick bar as well. So I eat the crab, drink the Physic Flask, and in I go. So I waited till he attacks me to summon my Mimic Tier. I took a lot of damage there, I don't think that was necessary. That was a clutch dodge. You throw the entire fucking planet at you. And there's my Mimic Tier. That dodge was clutch. I needed health. Mimic Tier was really nice in distracting Radahn, and I came from the back and poked. That's such a crazy move. He has a lot of AoE attacks, so even with the Mimic Tier, both of us are getting hit. And second phase, I immediately open with the long range. There's some crazy attacks in the second phase. This one, I still don't know when to dodge for that. This is a crazy move. When he multiplies and attacks. Thankfully he attacked my mimic tier. Still, he attacks like 5 times in a row. This thing I just gave up. I didn't bother running away to escape the damage. I had a bunch of holy damage negation, so it didn't hurt me much. It didn't hurt me as much as his swords do. And I had memorized his attack patterns at that point, especially that one move.
I promise you, 1,000-year voyage guided by compassion.
Got a kiss from Mikela. I never got the second kiss, so I guess that's good. My heart never got stolen. And there's the meteor. Where's he coming from? Thankfully he landed on my mimic tier. There goes my mimic tier. Bye bye. He has just a sliver of health left. I try not to be greedy. I whiffed somehow twice. Wanted to finish it off with my boom, and he has a sliver of health left. And I just did a simple jump attack to finish it off. Let's look at that again, shall we? I do my dragon sword slash and a simple jump attack. Ooh, that was such a relief. It's a really hard boss. It's not as hard as Mikela, but still pretty hard. The reward for it was this cutscene. Man, this was a crazy DLC. For a lot of games, this DLC would be an entire $60 game. And the fact that they hit every major aspect of the lands between in this was crazy. So this is a cute little bonus for you. This is my second playthrough as Cave Bob Spongeman. And on my second playthrough I go full naked caveman build with a huge bong stick. That's it. And more importantly, no HUD. None at all. I have a hatred for heads-up displays. You will find out about that next month. But yeah, this makes the game significantly harder. I don't know how much damage he's doing to me. I don't know how much damage I'm doing to him. It's all based on just feeling. It's like, oh, that felt like it hit hard. I might need a drink. Or like, oh, I can take another hit. But man, the bong stick has a crazy stagger potential. This was after a lot of attempts. But you know, I actually like that Souls aspects of dying a lot and having a lot of attempts. But you learn the boss inside out. And you know, I was sort of disappointed when I beat Mesmer in one try. It was exciting for sure, because you know, you beat a boss that's supposed to be the poster child of the DLC in one try. But then I didn't even get to learn his moves, I didn't learn anything. So I kind of regret that. I do like this aspect where I'm just beating my head against the wall and then I learn all the moves. And this kind of with no HUD everything, it forces me to learn all his moves, because I don't know how much health he has. I don't know how much health I have. I don't know how many flasks I have left. So the strategies are different, and the death comes quite suddenly. You don't even know when he's going to die because there's no health bar.